Welcome back to 242 Math. I am your host, Raphael Thompson, and today we'll be continuing with BJC Paper 2 for the year 2015. This paper is for 2 hours and it carries 100 marks. So let's see what you can do on paper 2. We've already completed paper 1. Hope you got 100%. Here we go. Questions. Remember, we have the answers to follow. So let's see what you can do. Number 1, A. Add those 3 decimal numbers. It carries 1 mark. Remember, no calculators. Just add, put an answer. If you need to regroup, show me the working right there on the problem. So go ahead, get number 1 done. Starts pretty simple. Remember, you show your answer with right answers with pen. 1B, you're multiplying the numbers, so go ahead and multiply. 1 mark for this also. Again, remember to show working right there on the paper and to check your answer as soon as you're finished working it. Fairly simple, 5 timetables. So, no problem. Just walk in the park. Yeah, I'm sure you got those 2 correct. Okay, here we go. Number 2, Mr. Brown earns $630, Mr. Green earns $720. Express Mr. Brown's earnings as a ratio to Mr. Green's earnings in simplest form. Go ahead, get it done. 2 marks. Mr. Brown earns $630, Mr. Green earns $720. Express Mr. Brown's earnings as a ratio to Mr. Green's earnings in simplest form. Go ahead, work it, get it done. Ratio, my friends. And remember, we want the answer in simplest form. So divide and divide until you can divide no more. We move on to number 3. Round 723.173, correct to A, first part, 2 decimal places, 1 mark. Round 723.173, correct to 2 decimal places, 1 mark. And that's 3A, so you know what's to follow, yeah. 3B, round the same number, 723.173, correct to the nearest tenth, 1 mark. Round the same number, correct to the nearest tenth. You know what that means. So go ahead, get it done. Yeah, so far so good. Number 3 isn't that hard. Starts off easy. And here we go on to 3C. Round, same number, 723.173, correct to 2 significant figures, 1 mark. 2 significant figures, guys. You know what that means, so go ahead, get it done. decimal places and significant figures. I know you all over those. And here we go. 3D. It continues. Same number. 723.173 correct to D, the nearest whole number. Rounded to the nearest whole number. 1 mark. Done. Number 4. Harry earned $24,366 last year. Calculate his monthly salary. 3 big marks. Harry earned $24,366 last year. Calculate his monthly salary. Work it. See what you can do. Find his monthly salary. Write it. Let's go. Remember, no calculators, guys. Yes, relying on brain power. Number 5, simplify by collecting like terms. Algebra. Yeah. 2a plus b minus 3 plus 4a plus b. 2 marks. Simplify that and write an expression, algebraic expression, as the answer. 2a plus b minus 3 plus 4a plus b. See what you can get. And this is where the algebra kicks in, guys. But it starts pretty simple. That's an easy 2 marks right there. And we move on to number 6. The scale of a drawing is 1 centimeter to 15.2 meters. A. What is the actual distance of a road drawn 9 centimeters long? 2 marks. And B. Expressions in kilometers. 2 marks. Scale of a drawing is 1 centimeter to 15.2 meters. So that's the scale. A. What is the actual distance of a road drawn 9 centimeters long? And B, express your answer, what you got in A, in kilometers. 2 marks. Go ahead, work quickly, get it done. Got it? And we move on to number 7. Ray has a circular pool. The pool has a diameter of 4 meters. Joe swam once around the pool. How many meters did he swim? In brackets, use pi as 3.14. And your answer has to be in meters. 3 big marks for this. Go ahead, work it. Let's see what you do with this question. I'll read it again. Ray has a circular pool. The pool has a diameter of 4 meters and it's drawn and it shows that. Joe swam once around the pool. How many meters did he swim? Yeah, you got to figure out what you have to find. Is it the area or is it the circumference? Brain power. Use it. Let's go. Work it. Put an answer. Remember, pi is 3.14. Number 8. A machine can print 25 labels on an envelope every minute. A machine can print 25 labels on an envelope every minute. Calculate the number of labels that can be printed in 2 hours. Okay. What? 4 marks. 4 points for this, guys. Read it again. A machine can print 25 labels on an envelope every minute. Right? Every minute. But they want you to find out, calculate the number of labels that can be printed in 2 hours. Go ahead, work it out. You know what to do. You can earn those 4 marks. A lot of marks there, but don't let that fool you. Some easy calculations you have to do, then you get it. Number 9. Mrs. Brown bought a house for $95,000. She later sold it for $114,000. Calculate a profit. 2 marks. Mrs. Brown bought a house for $95,000. She later sold it for $114,000. She made a profit. They want you to calculate her profit. 2 marks. Just one simple calculation and you will have the answer, guys. 2 easy marks there. Nothing hard about number 9. And we move on to that was 9A, this is 9B. Mrs. Brown bought a house for $95,000. She later sold for $114,000. Calculate the profit as a percentage of the price she paid for the house. She paid for it. Calculate the profit as a percentage of the price she paid for it. So it tells you how to work it. Calculate the profit as a percentage of the price she paid for it. And your answer will be a percentage. 2 marks for that. Do it quickly. Remember, you got the profit earlier, so use that. And now we want the percentage. Got it? Good. Number 10A. Express 784 as a product of its prime factors. Express 784 as a product of its prime factors. 2 marks. So get kicking. Let's go get those prime factors for 784. You have a lot of dividing to do. Go ahead, get it done. Got it? Yeah, and we move on to 10B. Hence, find the square root of 784. So you have the factors, just find the square root of the factors and work it. Put an answer, 2 marks for that. So you're using your answer from 10A, and you want to find the square root of 784. No calculators, guys, so go ahead. Use the factors. That's why they had you factorize it. Use the factors. Now you can find the square root of those factors and work it. It's a fairly simple process once you understand square root. And we move on to number 11. And here you have a rectangle and they have the sides x, 12 centimeters, x, 12 centimeters. The perimeter of the above rectangle is 54 centimeters. A, calculate the length of the side marked x. 3 marks. So they're giving you the perimeter and they want you to calculate the length of the side marked x. So just find one of the x's, x. Go ahead, work it. You have to work it backwards because they're giving you the perimeter as 54, so you could find x. Double check it when you get it, make sure it adds up to 54 for the perimeter, and then that's 3 marks you've earned. Yes. And we move on to 11B. Use your answer from part A to calculate the area of the rectangle. So once you know what x is, use that. And you're finding the area of that rectangle. And 2 marks for that as well. And of course there will be in square centimeters. They already have that in as part of the answer. So you just put the number and you're straight. 11B. Finding the area of the rectangle and use the answer you got in 11A for x to find the area. You should know the formula for the area of a rectangle, guys. Got it? Excellent. And we move on to 12. Evaluate. Then express your answer in simplest form. 2/3 times 4 1/4 minus 1 and a 6. 1 and 1, 6. 3 marks for that, guys. 3 big marks. Fractions. So, work it. Remember what to do first and then what to do last. And remember, you're dealing with fractions. So go ahead, work it. Let's see what you get. Got it? Good. Number 13. The following numbers were placed in a bag: 57, 59, 75, 79, 95, 97. One number is chosen at a time. What is the probability that the number A is 59? 1 mark. Probability, guys. Remember, I want you to write your answer as a fraction. One number is chosen at a time. What is the probability that the number is 59? And from those numbers there, 57, 59, 75, 79, 95, 97. Go ahead, put an answer. That's easy and straightforward. Remember, that's 13A. 1 mark. And we move on to 13B. One number is chosen at a time, same numbers. What is the probability that the number B starts with 9? What is the probability that the number starts with a 9? Same numbers: 57, 59, 75, 79, 95, 97. 1 mark. What is the probability that picking a number at random and the number starts with a 9? Remember, write your answer as a fraction. If you have to reduce it, but it's only 1 mark. And you know what comes next, 13C. Yes, same numbers. One number is chosen at a time. What is the probability that the number C is between 30 and 55? 1 mark. What is the probability that the number is between 30 and 55? Give the probability. 1 mark. Remember, you're still dealing with the same numbers: 57, 59, 75, 79, 95, and 97. Okay, should have that by now. That's a giveaway. And still moving on, 13D, same numbers. What is the probability that the number is a multiple of 5? Same numbers: 57, 59, 75, 79, 95, 97. One number is chosen at a time. What is the probability that the number is a multiple of 5? 1 mark. Got it? And we move on, 13E. When is this going to finish? Same numbers. One number is chosen at a time. What is the probability that the number E has the digit 7? The numbers are 57, 59, 75, 79, 95, and 97. One number is chosen at a time. What's the probability that the number has the digit 7? 1 mark. Yeah, I don't want to see no more of these guys. That's 13E. That should be the last of 13. Hopefully. A lot of probability. That was 5 marks, guys. Okay, good. 13F. I cannot believe it. One number is chosen at a time. What is the probability that the number is less than 100? 1 mark. That should be the last of this. The following numbers, 57, 59, 75, 79, 95, 97. One number is chosen at a time. What's the probability that the number is less than 100? 1 mark. Tired of those. It's enough probability. That question had 6 marks. Boy, if you don't know probability, you're lost. And thankfully, we move on to 14. Mike thinks of a number y, multiplies it by 3, then subtracts 5. A, write an expression to represent this. Mike thinks of a number y, multiplies it by 3, then subtracts 5. Write an expression to represent this. 1 mark. Back to the algebra. Here we go. And that's just A. You know what's going to come next. Yes, we move on to 14b. Kim thinks of the same number y and adds 15 to it. B, write an expression to show this information. Kim thinks of the same number y adds 15 to it. Write an expression to show this information. 1 mark. Okay, similar to A, write the expression. And that's an easy mark you will obtain. It's fairly simple. You know we're not finished. Yeah, there's going to be a 14C, I'm sure. You got to solve it for something. Here we go. Both Mike and Kim end up with the same number. See, write an equation to show this. Both Mike and Kim end up with the same number. Write an equation to show this. Remember, I want an equation, so just write it. You don't have to solve it yet. Write it. 1 mark. And now, both Mike and Kim end up with the same number. Solve D, solve your equation to find the value of y. So the equation you wrote a while ago for C, solve that equation to find the value of y. Yeah, I told you it was coming. You had to solve it. So go back to C, get that equation you wrote. Something is equal to something. Solve it. Find the value of y. 3 big marks. So this question carried a lot of marks. It's a lot of weight. So don't get them wrong. Let's go. Number 15. Use the diagram below to answer the following questions. And you have the diagram now drawn to scale. And A. What type of triangle is ABC? 1 mark. So just name it. Look at triangle ABC. What type of triangle is ABC? That's fairly simple. Just spell it properly. You won't be penalized for spelling errors. You should be able to spell it. Yes, and we move on to 15b. State the size of angle CAB. CAB. You got to find that angle. State the size, 1 mark. So it's something fairly simple you have to do. State the size of angle CAB, 1 mark. This is the geometry now, guys. You finished with the algebra. Now here we have the geometry. That one was fairly simple. And we move on to 15C. Use the diagram, the same diagram. State the size of angle ABC now. And 3 marks for that, so you have to do some working. State the size of angle ABC. Do your calculations, work it out, get an answer, and earn those 3 big marks for 15C. You're dealing with the same diagram from 15A and B. Good. And we have another part to it, 15D. State the size of angle ABR. Angle ABR, 2 marks for that, guys. So you have to do a calculation and you'd get it. State the size of angle ABR. 2 marks. Earn those 2 marks. Let's go, get it done. Good. And we move on to 16. T&T Appliance Center sells the stove at a cash price of $1,500. It can also be bought on hire purchase. The hire purchase plan requires a deposit of 10% of the cash price and 12 equal monthly payments of $125 each. If the hire purchase plan is used, calculate A, the total amount of the monthly payments. 2 marks. Okay, T&T Appliance Center sells the stove at a cash price of $1,500. It can also be bought on hire purchase. The hire purchase plan requires a deposit of 10% of the cash price and 12 equal monthly payments of $125 each. If the hire purchase plan is used, calculate the total amount of the monthly payments. Got it? And we move on, 16B, the same problem. Now B wants you to find the amount of her deposit. So read it again. The hire purchase plan requires a deposit of 10% of the cash price. That's what they want. How much money that is, the amount of her deposit. Go ahead, work it quickly, get an answer, and earn those 2 big marks. You use hire purchase when you don't have cash, so you can use a hire purchase plan where you pay something every month. Of course, you're going to pay more, but you don't have the cash, so you have to use the hire purchase. So calculate the amount of her deposit. Got it? And we move on to 16C. Same problem you're dealing with, A and B. And C, the total cost of the stove using the hire purchase plan. So we want to see what the total amount is if you use the hire purchase plan instead of paying cash. And of course, the hire purchase plan will be more than the cash price. That's a given. So go ahead and work it out. So the hire purchase plan, find the deposit and then find the 12 monthly payments of $125 each and see how much that hire purchase plan is, guys. Get it done quickly. Good. And D, same situation with the hire purchase plan. The amount of money to be saved by paying cash, 2 marks. So you're dealing with the same problem. You already figured out the hire purchase price in C, So look at that price and look at the cash price, and they want to know the amount of money to be saved by paying cash. So do a simple calculation and boom, you have it. 2 marks. 16D. Work it quickly. Got it? Good. 17A. Draw and label the x and y axis from -6 to 9. 2 marks. B. Plot and label the following points: A, 8, 7, and B, -6, -2. 2 marks. Then C. Join A to B. 1 mark. Hey, that's 5 marks, guys. Go ahead, get the working done. Let me see you draw and label the x and y axis from -6 to 9. Then plot and label the points A, 8, 7, and B, -6, -2. And then C, join A to B. Just put an X on the point and put A beside 8, 7, and then put B and put beside -6, -2. And we go on to D and E. Same coordinate grid. D, write the coordinates of the point where the line cuts the x-axis. 1 mark. And E, write the coordinates of the point where the line cuts the y-axis. 1 mark. 2 more marks to get 417. D, write the coordinates of the point where the line cuts the x-axis. 1. And write the coordinates of the point where the line cuts the y-axis. 1. You've already drawn the line, so just look at it and get your answers. Get the coordinates and write them. And we move on. 18. The line graph below shows the number of students from grade 7 through 12 who tried out for the soccer team at school. A. Which grade level had the largest amount of students trying out? 1 mark. So use the line graph and find the answer for that. Which grade level had the largest amount of students trying out? And B. How many students from grade 11 tried out? 1 mark. So look at the graph, read it properly, give me the answers for A and B. Earn those 2 marks. And we move on to 18C and D, same graph, same situation. C, how many more students from grade 12 tried out than from grade 8? 2 marks. And D, how many students tried out all together? 2 marks. So go ahead, do your calculations and work out. C, how many more students from grade 12 tried out than from grade 8? And D, how many students tried out all together? Read the graph properly, do your calculations, get those 4 big marks. 18C and D. You can read a line graph. Get it done. Got it? Very good. 19. Universal set 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. X is 2, 4, 8, 10. Y is 6, 8, 14. A. Using the sets above, state whether each statement is true or false. 1. Read it and then write true or false. 1 mark. 2. Read it and then write true or false behind it. 1 mark. So 2 simple things to do. I'm not going to read it for you, then you will know what the symbols mean. You should be able to read it and read the symbols and know what they mean and work it. And then put true or false. Got it? And we continue with 19B. Same sets. List the members of 1. Read it and list the members for number 1, 1 mark. And then 2. Read it. List the members for that. 2 marks. Got it? Okay, we move on to 19B, part 3 and 4. List the members. We're still listing the members up, and read 3 and put an answer. List the members for that, 2 marks, and then read B4. List the members for that, 1 mark. And we move on to 19C, same sets. Complete the Venn diagram, writing each member of X and Y in the correct region. So they are giving you the Venn diagram. You just put in the numbers where they belong. And you have 4 big marks for this, guys. So where you have X, put in your numbers. Where you have Y, put in your numbers. And anywhere else where you need to put numbers, go ahead and put them. And earn yourself those 4 big marks for this Venn diagram. Remember, you're using the information, the universal set 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. X is the set 2, 4, 8, 10, and Y is the set 6, 8, 14. So put the numbers in the right spots, and you would have those 4 big marks. Good. We move on to 20A. Using a ruler and a pair of compasses with AB as the base of your triangle, construct triangle ABC with AC is equal to 7 centimeters and BC is equal to 6 centimeters. 4 big marks for this construction. So they already have AB drawn. So construct triangle ABC with AC is equal to 7 centimeters and BC equal to 6 centimeters. Go ahead, get the working done quickly. See if you can do that construction. Remember, you're only using your ruler and your pair of compasses. And 20B, bisect the side AB, 2 marks for that. So after you've done the construction, then they want you to bisect that side AB. Again, you're using your ruler and your pair of compasses only. And for constructions, you have to use a pencil, of course. Anywhere else where you're providing answers, then you can use your pen. For constructions, you have to use a pencil. On the graph, you have to use a pencil. Okay, bisect that side. Remember, I want to see those arcs you would have drawn to do it. And we move on to the best part of the paper, where you have the answers. And here we go. Number 1, answer 13.45. Give yourself 1 mark for that, guys. Fairly simple, straightforward. Good, sure you got that. B, 1B, 30.20. You have to multiply by 5. Yeah, all of you should know your 5-time tables, guys. It's 1 easy mark for you to get. And number 2, and you have to put earnings as a ratio. So it's 630 to 720. You divide by 10, get 63 to 72. Then you divide by 9, 7 to 8. Got 2 points. I hope you got those 2 big marks for that, guys. 7 to 8. Answer in simplest form. Mr. Brown to Mr. Green's earnings. 630 to 720. Okay, number 3A, rounded to 2 decimal places. 723.17. Yeah, I have that 3 underlined. You have to look at that and see if that's 5 or more. Since it's less than 5, you just leave it at 7. And B to the nearest tenth is 723.2. Why? Because there's a 7 after that 1. 5 or more, you add a 1. So it's 723.2, guys. Got it? Excellent. and C, two significant figures. So it's 723. There's a 3 after that 2, so you have to leave it as 72, and you have to put a 0 for that 3. 720. The 0 at the back is insignificant, so that's important. And D, the nearest whole number, 723. There's a 1 after that point, so you leave it. You don't have to add a 1 to the 3. 723, nearest whole number. Good. 4. Calculate his monthly salary. You have to divide by 12 months in the year. And when you divide it, you get $2,030.50 and 50 cents. 3 big marks. Mark it, guys. Well done if you got that. You just had to do the division by 12. You would get that final answer. 3 marks. Remember, no calculators. And 5, simplify by collecting like terms. So you put your A's together, you get 3A plus 2B. Yes, give yourself a mark. 2 marks for that. 2 big marks. 3A plus 2B. That's as far as you can go with that. You just had to simplify it. So put your A's together, put your B's. And 6, scale drawing 1 centimeter, 15.2 meters. So you have to multiply by 9, you get 136.8 meters. 2 big marks for that. Just multiply 1.52. Multiply 15.2 by 9 to get your answer, 136.8 meters. B, 6B, you want to express your answer in kilometers. So if you have 168.8, you have to divide by 1,000, is 0.1368 kilometers. 2 marks. And the circular pool, if you swim around the pool, you have to find the circumference. Yeah, going around it is the circumference. So it's pi d, or 3.14 times 4, 12.56 meters would be the circumference. 3 big marks. Remember, pi is 3.14. So that's why we multiply that by 4. Got it? Excellent. And number 8. In 2 hours is 120 minutes. So you multiply 120 by 25, you get 3,000 labels. 4 big marks for that, guys. 3,000 labels in 2 hours. They can print 25 in every minute, so it's 3,000 labels. 4 marks. And we move on to 9. The profit was 114,000, take away 95,000, and you get 19,000. That's the profit she made. Just subtract 2 big marks. That one was straightforward. And then 9B, yeah, you have to calculate profit percentage, the price she paid for it. So it would be 19,000 over 95,000 times 100, and that works out to be 20%. When you divide it all down, 20%. You could either calculate, you could just scotch out zeros at the beginning if you want, so you don't have to do all the calculation, but it still would come to 20%. And 10, express 784 as a product with prime factors. So you get, when you divide it down, you get 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 7 times 7, 2 to the 4 times 7 to the power 2. Once you have it in any of those forms, you're okay, you get 2 marks. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 7 times 7, that's correct, that's 2 marks. Or if you have 2 to the 4 times 7 to the 2, then that's 2 marks as well. Any one of those, you're okay. That's the first part. Next part, you have to find the square root of 784. And of course, if you put 2 to the power 4 times 7 to the power 2 in the square root, then you use 2 to the power 2, and then you use a 7. So you get 28. 28, 2 big marks for that, guys. Mark it. And we move on to 11. You have to find the perimeter is 54. You have to find x, the length of one of the sides. So 2x plus 24 is equal to 54. X is 15 centimeters. 3 big marks for that, guys. and then check it when you finish with 30, 42, 52, 54, right? Add it up and see if you get the 54. Then you know it's correct. And B, use your answer from part A to calculate the area. So once you know it's 15 for that side, then the area would be 15 times 12, and that works out to be 180 square centimeters. Got it? Good. And we move on to 12. Evaluate then expression in simplest form. Fractions 2/3 times 1 1/4 minus 1 and 1/6. It works out to be 1 2/3. Good. That's 3 marks for that, guys. We're able to work there to multiply first, then you have to subtract. 1 2/3. Final answer. 1 4/6. Reduce 4/6. You get 1 2/3. Okay, move on to 13. Probability. The first one, A. Probability number is a 59. It's 1 over 6. 6 numbers, and there's only 159. So it's 1/6. One easy mark. And we move on to B. Starts with a 9, and the number starts with a 9. There are 2 numbers that start with a 9, 95 and 97. So it's 2 over 6, 1/3. When you reduce 2 over 6, you get a third. 1 mark. If you have 2 over 6, give yourself the mark as well. They didn't say you have to reduce it. I just told you to do it. Okay, and C, the number is between 30 and 55. 0 numbers are between 30 and 55. So 0 is 6, and that's 0. So the probability is 0. It's impossible. So don't let them trick you. The lowest number there is 57. That's it, no 55 or lower. And we move on to D. The number is a multiple of 5. How do you know if it's a multiple of 5? Look at the digit at the end. So it must end with a 5 or 0 to be a multiple of 5. You have 75, then you have 95. So that's 2 of those that are multiples of 5. So it's 2 over 6, 1/3 again. If you have 2 over 6, give yourself that 1 mark. But when you reduce it, you get 1/3. And 13E has the digit 7. How many of those numbers have the digit 7 in it? 1, 57, 2, 75, 3, 79, 4, 97, 4, 6. Reduce that, you get 2/3. So if you have 4, 6, mark it. If you have 2/3, mark it, 1 mark. And we move on to F is less than 100. How many of those numbers are less than 100? All 6. Less than 100, 6 over 6, so the answer is 1. The probability means it's certain. You have to get a number that is less than 100 if you were to choose one of those numbers. So the probability is 1. That means you have to get a number that's less than 100. Give yourself 1 mark for that, guys. And we move on to 14. Mike thinks of a number, multiplies by 3, then subtracts 5. So the number is y. Multiplies it by 3, 3y, subtracts 5, minus 5. 3y minus 5. That's it. That's all you can do with that. Give yourself 1 mark for that. And we move on to 14b. Kim thinks of the same number and adds 15 to it. So the number is y, and add 15 to y, y plus 15. Yep, straightforward, simple as that. Same number y, and you add 15 to it, so it's y plus 15. Give yourself 1 mark for that, guys. And 14c, write an equation to show Both Mike and Kim end up with the same number, so you say 3y minus 5 is equal to y plus 15. Put them equal to each other. If they end up with the same number, then they're equal to each other. And that's how you write it. They don't want you to solve it yet. They just said to write an equation to show this information, that both Mike and Kim end up with the same number. So put them equal to each other. Boom, that's it. One big mark. Now, solve the equation to find the value of y. Now you solve it. Bring y to the front, carry the 5, negative 5 to the back. So you get 2y is equal to 20, y is equal to 20, y by 2. Y is 10. 3 big marks for that. If you know how to solve that to get y. Y is 10, guys. 3 marks. Got it? And number 15. What type of triangle is triangle ABC? It's an isosceles triangle. ISOSCELES. Isosceles triangle. Why? 2 of those sides equal. How do you know? You see a line on AB and a line on BC. That means those 2 sides equal. That's how they show an isosceles triangle. Yeah, you should know that by now. Good? Got that? And we move on to B. What? State the size of angle CAB. Now, once you know it's isosceles, the base angles are equal. So CAB is another base angle. So it has to be equal to 28. No calculations. The 2 base angles are equal. Simple. Got it? Now they want you to find the size of angle ABC. Okay, so once you know you have 180 degrees in the triangle, and then the 2 base angles, the 28 add up to 56. So 180 minus 56, 124 degrees. 3 big marks for doing that, calculating that as 124 degrees. 3 marks. That's the angle ABC. Okay, we move on to D, state the side angle ABR. So once you know ABC, then ABR is on a straight line with that, so it's 180 minus 124. That's what you just calculated. And when you subtract, you get 56 degrees. 180 minus 124, 56 degrees. Give yourself 2 marks for that, guys. You must be able to locate these angles. No idea. Just look at the middle letter. That will show you where the angle is. And 16, TNT Appliance Center. So they want to know the total amount of the monthly payments. There are 12 equal monthly payments of $125. So multiply 12 by 125 and you get $1,500. Give yourself 2 big marks for that. All that is 12 payments of $125. And that's what they said in the higher purchase. Good. And then we move on to B. The amount of a deposit. Now the deposit is 10% of the cash price. So it's 10 or 100 times whatever the cash price is. And they give it to you, 1,500 or 1. So work it down, you get $150. Give yourself 2 marks for that. Just find 10% of the cash price. And C, the total cost of store using the higher purchase plan. So you have to add the 12 monthly payments and then add the 10% of the cash price. That's why I put them there for you so you can see the answers. So you add 1,500 plus $150, you get $1,650. 2 big marks for that. So just add the 12 monthly payments and then add the 10% of the cash price and you'd get the higher purchase price, $1,650. 2 marks. Then the amount of money to be saved by paying cash. So the higher purchase would be more than the cash. So it's the higher purchase minus the cash price. 1,650 minus 1,500, you get $150. Give yourself 2 marks for that. I told you the higher purchase would have to be higher than the cash price. So if you're not paying cash and you use higher purchase, it will be higher than the cash. So you just have to subtract to find the difference. Good. And we move on to 17. Draw and label the x and y axis from -6 to 9. That was done. 2 marks for that. Plot and label the following points. You plot in the mark an A up in the top quadrant to the right and then B the bottom quadrant to the left. Then you have to join them. That's it right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 marks, guys, for that. Simple as that. You get your 5 marks. Got it? And then write the coordinates, the point where it cuts the x-axis, so it's negative 3, 0. And then where it cuts the y-axis, which is 0, 2. 1 mark for each of those. And then you have your 2 marks for D and E. Simple as that. Just read the coordinate, write the coordinates where it cuts the x and where it cuts the y. It's negative 3, 0 and then 0, 2. Okay, and 18. Which grade level had the largest number of students trying out? Grade 9. Yeah, grade 9 goes up the highest. So grade 9 had the highest number of students trying out. And how many students from grade 11 tried out? 5 students. Read the graph and you would find the answers. Give yourself 1 mark for each of those questions. So that's 2 marks altogether for A and B. And we move on to C and D. How many more students from grade 12 tried out than from grade 8? 11 take away 6, 5 students, 2 marks. How many students tried altogether? So you add 4 plus 6 plus 12 plus 8 plus 5 plus 11. 46 students tried out altogether. 46. That's 2 marks. 4 marks for C and D. And we move on to number 19, where you have the sets. So 8 is not an element of y. That's false, because 8 is an element of y, and 1 mark for that. And then 2, 4, and 6 is their elements in set X. They are a subset of set X. That's false. 4 and 6 are elements in X. So number 2 is false. Give yourself 1 mark for that. And B1, X union Y is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. No repeats. 1 mark. And then YC or Y1, complement of Y. What's not in Y is 2, 4, 10, 12. Give yourself 2 marks for that. 2, 4, 10, 12. What's not in Y? Remember, you have to look at the universal set to get answers. And we move on to B3 and 4. Number of elements not in set C. So that's nx to the C or nx to the 1. 3. They want a number, so it's 3. 3 elements are not in set X. And then X intersection Y is 8. X intersection Y is only 1 element in that. You have to list the members, so that's 8 for that one. C, complete the Venn diagram writing each member of X and Y in the correct region. There you have it, your numbers. In X, 2, 4, 10. In the middle intersection is 8. And then 6, 14 in Y. And on the outside, you have 12. And that's all your numbers in that set, in the universal set. Make sure you have all the numbers listed on the set. 12 is on the outside because it's not a part of X or Y. 4 marks for that. Got it? 20. You have to do use your pair of compasses and the ruler. And with AB as your base, construct triangle ABC with AC is equal to 7 and BC is equal to 6. Remember, you have to put, you see that 6 centimeter line on the paper and 7 centimeter line. You have to draw it there on the paper so they can see. Use your ruler, just draw the lines and then put your compass on it and then do your construction. So you get 4 big marks. I need to see those arcs when you're done at C and then label it C. That's it. You earn yourself 4 big marks. And B, bisect side AB. So I need to see arcs at the top, arcs at the bottom, or how you did the construction. I need to see that to bisect that line, and you would earn yourself 2 big marks for that. Once you bisect AB, use a ruler and measure it. Make sure A to that dotted line is the same as B to that dotted line on the other side. That shows you the line is bisected or cut in half. Got it? Give yourself a score out of 100, guys, and put your name so I can know who you are. Send me those scores. Thank you for watching. That's the end of the BJC 2015 papers. And the first paper was out of 50, the second paper out of 100. So I hope you were able to pass those papers. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and share me out. And we would see you in the next one. That's a wrap.